So this video is dedicated to a small YouTuber with about 29,000 subscribers, simply known as Hailey. I haven't seen any of her other videos. I just kind of looked through them, and she looks very real. What I mean by real is it's very similar to what I do. It's she puts, except a little different. She puts her videos up, she talks about something, and that's it. They're very basic. She doesn't really put a whole lot of work behind the editing and stuff like that. It is just a platform for her to be heard. That's what I mean by the same thing as me, because that's kind of what I do. Is I, in a way, put up videos. They're very basic and to the point. I guess they're to be heard technically. I do it as a way of hoping to reach people, but it's basically the same thing. It's not any different. Now, I've seen a few videos like this before in the past, and it seems like videos like these actually get really popular. It was a couple of years ago. I saw a random video talking about have no friends, and it was just this girl just crying and talking about how she had no friends, and it was very heartbreaking and sad to see. And you see videos like this, and it's gut-wrenching because you can't do anything. It, in a way, I think is unhealthy for the person behind it, because they get all this support, and for the most part there's a lot of support behind these videos that I've seen. And in Hailey's video, you see a lot of that support, and a lot of people wishing they could be friends with her or talk to her. I mean, I wished I could talk to her. I still wish, if you're watching this video, which I hope you are, this is why I felt the need to make this video, because I see this so often, and this is like the only way I feel like I can genuinely show that someone, even a complete stranger, cares about you. Back to what I was saying, it's not necessarily the most healthiest thing either, because all the support and care you do get is on the other side of a screen, and it doesn't necessarily feel real. I've actually been there. I started this channel 8 years ago, almost 9 years ago. This was when I was 14, and I didn't really have a lot of friends at all. And if anyone who's actually stayed on this channel long enough, and I still see comments from people that have followed me for like 7+ years, it's crazy. Thank you guys, by the way. Shout out to people like Carolyn Minty, and I think I still see Creeper Kill every now and then. They have been subscribed to me for a long time. But I didn't have a lot of friends, and I would always, or I felt like I didn't have a lot of friends. I guess I did have a lot of friends in real life, but I didn't really click with anyone. Psychologically, they weren't really like me. And I felt like I connected better with people online. But the more entangled I got on the internet and with friends online, it just made me feel more empty. And I didn't really know I was experiencing these feelings until I got off the internet. As of now, I have absolutely no social media other than YouTube. And technically I have a Facebook, but I only use it for Messenger, because there's just some people that don't have a phone number, or like that's the only way they text. There are some videos I have on this channel that are awfully cringy. I had a total of, I think, about 70 videos before I deleted and purged most of them. I still have, I think, about 15 I've kept, roughly, of just kind of either the really popular stuff, or just stuff I felt like was pretty decent enough to leave on YouTube, because I wanted to leave at least a remnant of my past. So if this channel does grow enough, people can see where I started. And I bring all this up because this is not about me at all. I just want to first off explain how much I relate to these videos that I see. And I want you guys who have seen my last couple of videos to understand that it is so possible to change. It is very possible to change. I am happily married to literally the best woman on the planet. I have never in my life met a woman like this, even in someone else's marriage. She is freaking wonderful. I still, at times, feel like I'm not even worthy of her. I'm not even kidding. Until I remind myself that I'm just like everyone else, and that she's just like everyone else, and it's just a good mindset to keep yourself in. Nobody is necessarily better than anyone. If you're under 18 watching this video, specifically if you live with your parents, if you feel a lot of stress with school and with pleasing your parents, which is something I definitely tried to do. I definitely wanted to make my dad proud of me. I mean, that's why I was so obsessed with, YouTube back in those days. For those who have been on this channel long enough, I was trying to impress them through success, and I wanted to pop off before I was even out of high school, and it became an obsession, which led to depression. But at the same time, I was flunking at school, and All they wanted of me was to just pass my classes. They actually didn't have a lot of high expectations after a certain point. After I got to high school and I had been screwing around throughout middle school and just not really meeting their expectations, they lowered them to basically they just wanted me to graduate. That's all they wanted. And I did graduate, and I struggled on the way there. I had to do night school. I mean, I was stressed out. I quit my job my senior year. I gave up on YouTube the end of my sophomore year. I kind of fell into this like terrible, depressing, I can't find the word for it, but basically I was just trying to get through high school, and I had a lot of great memories. High school was great. I freaking love it. I'm focusing more on the negatives, but that's because that's what this video is about. And Hailey, I really hope you're watching this video, and I hope other people who feel like this or who have made videos like this are watching this video, because I don't want to be empty when I say things can get better or things will get better. But I do want to say, if you are a kid, if you are living with your parents, it does feel like you have no control over your life, because you don't. But the best advice I can give you while you're living with your parents is you have to learn to not impress them, because it is only going to drag you down and make you very, very miserable. You have to learn to only do the things you do because you want them for yourself. I might make it sound simple, but if you hear me out, by eliminating the fear of being a disappointment and just lowering your anxiety, trying the best you can anyway, just focusing on what you want out of life or what you want to do in school, which is maybe pass. You just want to, get the grades you're trying to get the GPA you're trying to, whatever it is you're trying to do those things for yourself. And if you have that mindset, then you start accomplishing these things. You feel better about it because you're hitting the goals you want for yourself, and your parents might be more proud of you. And if they're not, and if they're just really very hard and stubborn parents, then you need to bite your tongue and try as hard as you can to not let that phase you. Because me and my parents, like I said, I've had a very similar middle and high school experience, and my parents and I just did not get along at all. I mean, there were so many nights where, crying was involved. Shouting or this or that. But I have not experienced that in years. And I actively visit my parents. I've currently been staying with them. I can't remember the last time I had a conflict with them. It's been years. The second I graduated, it all ended. And for some people, it doesn't. I'm not saying that you're not going to have like any problems after high school. But when it comes to, getting good grades and, doing all the things you're supposed to be doing, that ends. It really does. It's all over after graduation. If you can just understand that and make it to graduation, doing the best you can and knowing that you have the rest of your life to have at your absolute control, keep that vision in your mind and it'll get you through it. Man, it just breaks my heart. But Hailey, people relate to you. People really do. People care about you, whether you think they do or they don't. I hope there's someone in your life you feel like cares about you, not just this random stranger on the internet and the people in your comment sections. I really hope there is. One of the reasons I actually fell in love with philosophy and, this way of life is because I had so many things I was trying to live up to. There were so many things I was trying to live up to. And the way I view things now is to not live up to anything other than just what I want out of things. Everyone in their own lives are always trying to impress everyone. And we do this subconsciously. We do this subconsciously with everything. Our jobs, we take a lot of pride in our jobs if it's an impressive field and makes a lot of money, mostly because of how it looks to other people. And this isn't everyone, this is just most people, but this is why it's so important to not let anyone or their feelings affect your way of life, including your parents. With that being said, I would love if it's possible to have a personal conversation with you, to talk about things and get more personal than just vague. This is all just kind of vague stuff that goes to anyone. I'm telling you though, you could have a completely different life in the next couple of years. Everything you do right now could be hit by a pandemic and all of a sudden you're going down a completely different road that leads you to philosophy. That was my life. I was so stressed about all these things, and then COVID hit my senior year. just before graduating. And next thing you know, I'm not going to college. I'm doing this thing. And I started working for my dad. I was freaking miserable. And I'm doing all this stuff that led me to this thing and to that thing. And next thing you know, I am more happier than I've ever been in my entire life. And it's because I've just accepted the rules of nature and where it led me. And I didn't care about what anyone thinks anymore. I'm really good at judging someone by their energy, the way they talk, and also their room. And you sitting in your room in your videos, I mean, you got a lot of visuals to look at. And judging by these things, I can tell you're probably interested in reading. You're probably someone that reads a decent amount of the time, probably a lot of fantasy maybe. And I could be wrong. That's just a complete guess. But I really, really recommend reading some stuff by Wayne Dyer. Seriously. I would even start with, there's a very, very, very short book. It's very short. You'll read it very quickly. It's called 10 Secrets to Success and Inner Peace. And I want you to try to start a journey on the side. I know you have a lot of stuff you're trying to do. You know, you have schoolwork and and your parents and all this stuff. It's a lot. And I know because I've been there just recently. I mean, I was bombarded with so much on my shoulders. So I know there's a lot on your plate. But if you can find some time, get into reading books on topics like this. Your parents they're simply human. And it took me a while to realize this, to really see my parents as just regular, ordinary people and not my parents. But once you do see that, it makes the stress of impressing them or, you know, having them be proud of you, it makes that stress go away. With that being said, I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry that I can't be a physical friend in your life. And I hope you do have real friends in your life that you feel help you in these times of need. But if you're watching this video, Hailey, leave a comment and maybe we can figure out what it really is you're looking for to find that peace, to get some of that weight off your shoulders, because you can't go through the rest of high school feeling this way. Because I care about you, girl, and I care about everyone watching this video. It pains me to see videos like this. It really does. And we can only do so much.